Hello, my name is Landon Marina, and I am a single mom. This single mom channel is to create awareness, awareness of self, awareness of compassion for others, to help you look at a different perspective of a single mom. We live in a world where we are constantly told what it looks like to be a single mom, what it means, what to expect. And oftentimes it's a hurtful stigma that gives a lot of shame, and we don't really need that. It's a two-parent job. It's a two-person team sport. And unfortunately, many do not have the other half to do that with. But no matter what, as parents, we're bound to have guilt one way or another. And so I wanted this channel to be dedicated to single moms, even though we all as a community can learn from what I'm saying on this channel, because oftentimes we can heal ourselves just by how we recondition how we want to think towards others. It's common for the first thing for us to do is to be negative or think of something in a negative way. It's given to us through the media. So here is a safe space to discuss things and to look at things in a new perspective. I've been a single mom for 11 years and then some. And I want to speak this video. I would like to talk specifically to you who have just realized you're going to be a single mom. I'm going to try to get through this without a bunch of tears, but I say tears only because, let's be honest, this is not an ideal situation. It's not ideal, right? It's already scary enough to have a child. So it's already difficult to raise a child when you have two dedicated parents. When you find out that you are going to be a new mom, and not only that, now you realize you're going to be doing it by yourself, it hurts. It's a serious heartbreak of expectations of what you envision for your life. I became a single mom when my daughter was 3 months old. 3 months in, when our daughter was born, he went off to basic training, AIT, things of that nature, and I moved about 24 hours away from my job location and my security, where I was getting things, things were going pretty good for me. I had a job I can go back to, things like that. I even considered, just staying there. And when he got done with his basic and AIT, we'll just meet him wherever he gets stationed. But he and my family were not comfortable with that. And so I came back. We drove the 24-hour distance, and we came back to location he lived. So he left for basic and AIT, and during that time, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 months into it, he broke it off and decided that he didn't think it was best for him to stay in the relationship. So I was already... Let me pause on that. Let me just pause. I think that's the first step I want you to think about. When something like this happens and someone... It's really, really important to first sit in that sadness for a second. Get out your pen and paper. Please. Get out your pen and paper or your cell phone and write down the emotions that come to mind. The feelings you're feeling, even if all you can write is empty or shocked, ran over. These are things I felt. I felt like, what? I have no job. I have no home. what? And I moved away from all of those things that I had. And you're telling me what? When it comes to experiencing your hurt, when you do not address those emotions, when you do not set out time for yourself to do so, they will change your personality. Okay? You don't want to be like hardened, and you don't want this being a single mother to become your personality. So I wanted to interrupt the video and be very clear that even though I'm explaining the fact that no one even thought I was a single mom unless I brought it up, they would ask or something of that nature. In my mind, I wasn't a single mom. I was just a mother. And the problem with that is I took on too much, which later on would lead to my burnout as a mother. When you ignore your feelings, you also cut off your ability to plan a future that is realistic for yourself, because I hadn't evaluated my situation, my feelings, what truly had happened for most of her childhood. I just pulled up by my bootstraps, as they say, and got things done. I didn't feel like I had time to think about how it felt, the betrayal or the fear. And so the fact that you're even looking at this, I think I commend you. It's really great, a great start that you would even, look into finding your tribe, look into what should I be feeling right now? What should I be doing? Because everybody will tell you, well, you need to get your bills taken care of. Oh, you need to get this done. Oh, the finances we can figure out. That comes. Money comes. We can figure it out. You're going to do everything you can for that baby girl or baby boy or both. Okay, I know that. You're going to get money. You're going to get that house. You're going to get that apartment. You're going to get that place to stay. I'm not concerned about that for you. What I'm concerned about is that you don't have time or don't make time, because you'll never have it. It ain't going to be given. So I say that to say, please make sure you figure out a wellness plan for yourself. A wellness plan, not necessarily beauty and hair, which is also important, because you want to make sure that you're still in touch with that part of you. Things that you would want to do still. You don't have to stop just because, okay, the person I thought was going to be of assistance is now not. But my main thing from this video that I want you to get is the importance of emotions. I'm reading a book that closely relates to how I feel about this channel and about life, and I'm going to read it. It's from It's written by Rose Todd, Simply Bach Flowers, and not Bach, Batch, but people say Bach, B-A-C-H, it's Batch. But because your past emotions have created your present, because the emotions you're feeling now are creating your future, it's more important to heal what you're feeling now rather than to try to heal the feelings of the past. Right now, you feel about becoming a single mom, about doing this a lot differently than you expected. How do you feel? Those feelings, record them. Because if you can look and see how you're feeling right now, you can also figure out how to heal those feelings. And that's really important for the baby, for the children. I don't care what ages they are, because they do feed off of our spirits, our energy, the way we conduct ourselves, so the way we feel. They feel that. They are used to being in tune with us. They were inside of us, right? They are used to our rhythm. So when our rhythm starts changing because of anger that isn't being talked about, being sadness, frustration, all of that is super important. But I want to talk about how you can grow from this point. Oftentimes we give away our power by the way that we choose to approach a situation, embark on a new journey in life. And you're being called to a new journey in life. Everything that you thought you knew about being a single mom, every stigma and negative connotation you had to deal with, that you had come up in your mind about being a single mom, I want you to write it down. And I'm going to tell you what to do with that next. Because, not in this video, because I want you to sit with it. I just want you to sit and write out what you think of when you think of being left at the crib side. Not left at the altar, left at the crib side. When you're left standing at the crib of the child and you're like, oh, so this is just going to be me from now on. Cool. Okay. It's not cool. It's not okay. And I think that's the first step, is to be okay not being okay. Because I tell you, you're going to save yourself a lot of energy in the future if you can figure out how to be in that vulnerable state with yourself. It also tells us a lot about loneliness, something I'll be discussing as well, going into depth, because I've learned so much from my own experience, doing it right and doing it wrong, and what I consider right and wrong for me. And it might be the same for you. I've been able to help a lot of women along the way that I'm so glad to be able to call my friends, who have shared these beliefs with me and who have gained the empowerment from discussing these things freely. We are able to empower each other because we are used to sitting down in our invaluable feelings, the state of mind that comes up within us that hurts us, that makes us feel low, that makes us feel less than. There's so many ridiculous things said about single moms and the stigma. And sure, there's always going to be somebody you can call out and say, see, look, single mom, look how they act. Sure, there's always going to be somebody like that. I can say that with anybody. I can always find a negative, product of whatever I'm trying to sell you so you can feel bad about yourself. But that's not what I'm here for. And so I don't want you to be there for it either. I don't want you to act out in the way in which is portrayed, or what comes up, all those negative things that come up in your mind of what you think this might be. That's what you will become if you allow them to sit there without doing anything about it. But if we can acknowledge it, we can tackle it down. You got to see where your target is so you can run it over. Right? So write down those negative connotations, write down those negative thoughts you had when you became or realized you were going to become a single mom. When did you be? And if you've been a single mom for 5, 10 years, 11, 12, 15 years like me, if you've been a single mom for a long time and you just never really sat down and wrote that stuff down, write it down. How much have you started to portray? What are some connotations of single moms that you've seen that now you're like, ooh, do I do that? I do snap at my children a lot. I am kind of angry. Am I an angry single mom? This is a series, so I will be discussing more for newly single moms. Okay, so write things down because they're going to be important for what we're going to do next. And definitely hit the notification button, hit the subscribe button. It's a bell, right? Hit the notification bell. Hit like if you got anything out of this content. And more importantly, it's all gonna be good. You got this. Take care of yourself.